Welcome to another edition of Coffee with the Goose, where we talk about things that are, you know it, interesting, fascinating, and irritating. I am the Goose. Got some great information again. Got a big fight coming up. Errol Spence Jr. and Shawn Porter for kind of a reunification of the welterweight title. Let's get into the details here in just a moment. But first, we'll start the way we always do with our medicine. Our medicine is caffeine, as you know, and plenty of it. My coffee, as you know, very strong, just like my opinion. Got some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. Okay, this is a great matchup. I am so excited, and I know all of you boxing fans are excited as well. It's part of what appears to be a unification tournament in the welterweight division, at least for most of the welterweight division. We have 4 title holders as we speak. First is Terrence Crawford. Now, I mentioned his name first because many people think he's the best. Well, we'll see. But he's not involved in this tournament because he's not a PBC fighter, Premier Boxing Champions, the Al Heyman creation. Terrence Crawford is a Bob Arum fighter. You know, Arum, who used to represent Manny Pacquiao. So Terrence Crawford, who is a title holder himself, is not in on the mix, not yet. So we'll see what happens later. Another one of the title holders, of course, is Manny Pacquiao. He just defended his title against Keith Thurman, a dominating performance by the legendary champion. So he is moving on, and we hope he's going to take on the winner of the Errol Spence Jr. and the Shawn Porter bout, which is 2 more title holders. Anyhow, this fight is coming up on September 28th at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. We're going to watch it. We'll cover it, and we'll be on top of this. It's very exciting. So what can we expect? These are 2 great fighters. Errol Spence Jr., many people believe, is the best of the best in the welterweight division. Well, he's unbeaten, so he has every right to claim that. He's 25-0 with 21 knockouts. And Shawn Porter, the other titleist, who's fighting on September 28th, has only lost twice. I think he's 31-2 with 1 draw, and he's knocked out 17 opponents. 2 great fighters. Let's figure out, let's determine who's the best, who's going to win, and what to expect. First of all, they're 2 entirely different fighters. Their personalities are different. Errol Spence Jr. is a little more quiet, doesn't say a whole heck of a lot. Shawn Porter, on the flip side, is all smiles, very sociable, very lovable, but he's a beast in the ring once the bell rings. What about their resume? That you cannot, for those of you who think Spence is just going to have an easy time with Shawn Porter, check yourself. Check the facts. I'm not so sure that's going to be the case. Shawn Porter, Errol Spence Jr., even though he's won 25 and hasn't lost at all, his resume pales in comparison to Shawn Porter. Spence, and I've got to check my notes here. Spence, I'll just give you a couple of the opponents that he has defeated. You got Kell Brook, Lamont Peterson, Mikey Garcia. Very good fighters. But you know what? That last fight that Spence was in, where he defeated Mikey Garcia, yeah, on the surface it was very impressive, but no, not when you scratch the surface. It wasn't, because Mikey Garcia, all due respect, he was undefeated. He was moving up 2 weight classes, and it wasn't even close. Spence schooled him, but he did not hurt him. Not in the least bit. He made him look bad, but he did not hurt Mikey Garcia. So he's not invincible. He's not, King Kong in the ring. You look at Shawn Porter, meanwhile, his resume, far better. Just give you an example of some of the champions he's defeated. Adrian Broner, he's defeated Berto, Danny Garcia, Ugas. He lost to Thurman, but that was a very close decision. So Porter, and he's been a sparring partner of Manny Pacquiao, he's been through a lot of wars. You cannot surprise, you're not going to dish out anything in the ring that Shawn Porter hasn't seen before. So for those of you who think this is just a mismatch, no, this is not. Shawn Porter is the real deal. He's a champion, just like Errol Spence Jr. So here's what these guys bring to the table and what they need to do in order to win. Errol Spence Jr., you have to admire him for his, he's got the fundamentals down. He has great technical skills in the ring. He's a left-hander, which of course will mess with a lot of people's minds, but other than that, he has great technical skills. He has great reach. He has a wonderful jab. He has good body shots. He knows how to use his reach. I mean, he's got all the tools you need to win. And he's a tough guy. He's knocked out 21 of his 25 opponents. So Errol Spence is a tough cookie. Beating him will, you're going to have to bring your A game to the table. Shawn Porter, what does he bring to the ring? Complete opposite. Okay. Shawn Porter, first of all, is a great boxer. He's very fundamentally sound, although not on the level of Errol Spence Jr. Shawn Porter, it's easy to say he's a brawler. Well, he's a fighter. Brawler means there's no skill, there's no tactic, there's no game plan. Shawn Porter has all that, but he comes to fight, and he does not have the reach that Errol Spence Jr. has. So he needs to get up inside Errol Spence Jr.'s defenses in order to win. He is very aggressive. He's rough, and he has great stamina. He's been through a lot of wars, as I said. So in order to win, Errol Spence Jr. has to just keep doing what he's doing. He's got to keep Porter at bay. He has to be able to react and prepare for Shawn Porter coming at him, because that's what Shawn Porter does. Porter does not back up. He's coming at you. He wants to beat you up and do it quickly. And Errol Spence Jr. better be ready for that. He needs to use that jab, keep him at bay, and also use the body shots, because that is one of Porter's weaknesses. He does not handle body shots very well. Not to the point where Keith Thurman, I mean, he was really weak with taking body shots, but you can hurt Shawn Porter with a body shot. So that's what Spence needs to do. First and foremost, stick with his game plan, use what got him there, so to speak, and he has to be able to react intelligently and skillfully when Porter comes at him aggressively, and he's going to do that. What does Shawn Porter need to do to defeat Errol Spence Jr.? Well, again, he needs to use the skills that got him where he is now. He needs to figure out, he can't let Errol Spence Jr. Run the show. In other words, determine the tactics that are going to be used in the fight. He can't let Shawn Porter get comfortable, because I've seen Errol Spence Jr. get comfortable. I've seen Errol Spence Jr.'s fights. He just lays back there. I mean, he's a tough fighter, but when he's got that reach advantage and the great jab, it's easy pickings for him. I've seen it too many times against good fighters. So Porter has to be ready for that. He also, because Errol Spence Jr. is such an intelligent fighter, he's tough, but he's intelligent as well. He cannot allow his aggressiveness to play into Errol Spence Jr.'s hands. We've seen it before in many occasions when you're too aggressive, and a great technical fighter like Shawn Porter, like Errol Spence Jr., can counter and use that against you. And so who knows what's going to happen on September 28th. But both of these fighters have to, A, use the skills that got them their titles, but B, you have to be, and this is a key for any champion, you have to be prepared for what your opponent is going to bring, and take it a step further. You have to know what your opponent has planned for you specifically. And I mentioned this just a few minutes ago with Spence. He has to know how to deal with Porter with this aggressiveness, and Porter just doesn't come at you once in a while. It's constant. He's in your face the whole fight. So Spence needs to be ready for that and know how to react to that. And again, Shawn Porter has to be careful and not yet let his aggressiveness work against him. That can be deadly, especially with a great technical fighter and powerful fighter like Errol Spence Jr. So that's what we can expect out of these two fighters. What is my prediction? I hate to, it's politics and sports, man. You got to be careful with predictions. And I'm not just going to say hands down, this guy's going to win by technical, by TKO or by decision. But I will make this prediction. If the fight goes longer, 8 rounds or longer, Shawn Porter's going to win. Why? Because he has stamina and because Errol Spence Jr. is not used to going the distance. He hasn't gone 12 rounds. Well, yes, the fight against Mikey Garcia, that's the exception. But other than that, he's only gone the distance 3 times in his career. So he's not used to going 12 rounds. Shawn Porter is. He's got incredible stamina. So if Porter's going to win, he's got to check that. If Errol Spence Jr. is going to win, he has to do it early. He's got to take advantage of Shawn Porter's aggressiveness and make it look like it's there's no rhyme or reason to him rushing forward recklessly. But again, if it's 8 rounds or longer, I give the nod to Shawn Porter. I think, and I'm not exaggerating, 99% of you guys think Errol Spence Jr. is going to have an easy time and make him look bad. No. Of course, you never know what's going to happen, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Porter's been around too long. He's fought too many great fighters. He's been in too many wars to let somebody just school him and make him look bad and embarrass him. Do not expect that on September 28th. Porter, if he goes 8 rounds or longer, Porter can beat Errol Spence Jr. Mark my words. Anyhow, going to be a great fight. We will give you a reaction video right after it happens, but that's the way I see it panning out. Errol Spence Jr. against Shawn Porter. 2 great fighters going at it September 28th at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Looking forward to it. That's it for this edition of Coffee with the Goose. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching. Really, really appreciate it. Look forward to many more shows today. You take care.